Look around. We live on a planet with billions of people, which means billions of us started out as babies. They're the most common thing in the world, yet they are also the most mysterious. Did you know babies are born with a real-life superpower that lets them survive underwater? And that's not even the weirdest fact on our list today. From having more bones than a full-grown adult to crying without a single tear, we're about to explore the most insane, scientifically backed facts about newborns, many of which experts are still trying to fully understand. We're counting them down from 10 to 1, and trust me, number 1 will make you question everything you thought you knew about being human. Let's start with the one that breaks the rules of basic anatomy. Number 10. Number 10. Babies are born with more bones than you. Turns out, an adult skeleton has 206 bones, but a newborn starts life with around 300. They're not extra bones, but rather pieces of soft cartilage that haven't fused together yet. Think of their skeleton less like a solid frame and more like a biological construction kit. This incredible flexibility is a lifesaver for squeezing through the birth canal. But here's why it really matters. This design also allows for explosive growth. The famous soft spots on their skull, called fontanelles, allow the skull plates to shift and make room for the brain, which will double in size in the first year alone. Over the first few years, these separate pieces of cartilage will slowly harden and fuse together to form the 206 bones we have as adults. And for the twist, one of the last bones to fully form is the kneecap. Which brings us to a whole other insane fact we'll get to later in the list. But first, let's talk about something even more bizarre, their sense of taste. Number 9. They can taste what their mom eats in the womb. That's right. A landmark study in the journal Pediatrics confirmed that strong flavors from a mom's diet, like garlic, mint, or vanilla, pass directly into the amniotic fluid. While in the womb, a baby swallows up to a liter of this fluid every day, essentially marinating in a soup of their mother's recent meals. They are experiencing tastes months before they're even born. The crazy part is the long-term impact. Researchers found that babies who were exposed to carrot juice in the womb were more likely to enjoy carrot-flavored cereal later on. This isn't just about picky eating. Scientists call it fetal flavor programming. It suggests our earliest food preferences are being hardwired before we even take our first breath. And the twist. Get this, it's not just taste, but smell too. A newborn can identify its own mother from a crowd of other people by the scent of her breast milk alone. A scent so powerful it guides them to feed in their very first hours of life. Number 8. A newborn's head is a quarter of its entire body length. If adults had the same proportions, our heads would be gigantic. This huge size is all to house their rapidly developing brain. At birth, a baby's brain is already 25% of its adult weight, and it's an energy monster, consuming a staggering 60% of the baby's total energy intake. This is exactly why newborns seem to do nothing but eat and sleep. Their body is funneling almost all of its resources into building the most complex structure in the known universe, the human brain. But here's the twist. This massive brain comes at a cost. It's the reason human babies are born so helpless compared to other animals, like a foal that can walk within an hour. We trade physical readiness for raw brain power. It's an evolutionary gamble that says intelligence is more important for survival than being able to run from day one. Number 7. Babies can breathe and swallow at the same time. Go ahead, try it right now. You can't. You either breathe, or you swallow. But for the first 3 to 4 months of their life, babies can do both simultaneously. Their larynx, or voice box, sits much higher in the throat than an adult's, creating a perfect snorkel system. This high position allows milk to flow around the airway on its way to the esophagus, so they can chug a bottle without ever pausing for air. This ability is a critical survival mechanism for efficient feeding, but it's temporary. As they grow, their larynx drops lower into the throat. And the twist is the incredible trade-off we get. Losing this ability is what allows us to develop complex speech. Our dropped larynx is what lets us form the vast range of vowels and consonants needed for language. We sacrifice the ability to drink and breathe for the ability to talk. Number 6. Newborns cry without any tears. For the first few weeks, they make all the noise, but not a single drop falls. Their face gets red, their mouth opens wide, and they let out a wail, but it's a completely dry performance. This is because their tear ducts aren't fully developed yet. They produce just enough moisture, called basal tears, to keep their eyes lubricated, but not enough to form the emotional tears that spill over. So if your newborn is red-faced and screaming, they are in genuine distress. The lack of tears doesn't make it any less real. Real, tear-filled crying usually doesn't kick in until they're between 1 and 3 months old. The twist. On the flip side, some babies are born with blocked tear ducts, which causes the complete opposite problem. Their eyes are constantly watery and teary-eyed, even when they're perfectly happy. Number 5. Babies are born without kneecaps. Okay, this one blew my mind. They don't have the bony patella that we have. Instead, where our kneecaps are, they have a soft, pliable blob of cartilage, like the stuff in your ears. This acts as a built-in shock absorber system, which is perfect for the thousands of tumbles and falls they'll endure while learning to crawl and walk. It prevents fractures and major injuries during their most clumsy phase. This cartilage doesn't fully ossify, or harden into solid bone, until they are between 3 and 5 years old. So technically, every toddler you see is running around on squishy, cartilaginous knees. And the twist, it's not just the kneecaps. Many of the bones in their wrists and ankles are also cartilage at birth. That's why you can't give a baby a high five with the same satisfying slap. There's just not much solid bone there yet to connect with. Number 4. They are born with an ancient primate reflex. Ever seen a sleeping baby suddenly throw its arms and legs out, then pull them back in, when startled by a loud noise? That's the Moro reflex, and scientists are convinced it's a leftover survival instinct from our primate ancestors. They call it a primitive reflex. The theory is that this two-part motion, first flinging the arms out, then pulling them in, helped a baby monkey that was falling to automatically reach out and cling to its mother's fur. Your baby isn't worried about falling from a tree, but their brain is still hardwired with that ancient grab-on for dear life software. In fact, pediatricians test for this reflex to check on a baby's neurological development. And here's the practical twist. This reflex is the main reason why swaddling works so well. Wrapping a baby tightly in a blanket prevents their own startle reflex from flailing their arms and waking themselves up. You're basically protecting them from their own ancient instincts. Number 3. They are born with triple the number of taste buds. And they aren't just on their tongue. Newborns have taste buds on the roof of their mouth, on the back of their throat, and even on their tonsils. This heightened sensitivity makes them super tasters, and it's a brilliant survival mechanism. They have a strong preference for sweet tastes, which signals energy, like breast milk, and a strong aversion to bitter tastes, which often signals poison in nature. This sensitivity peaks around birth and then starts to decline. It explains why they often have such strong, immediate reactions to new foods. That grimace isn't just picky eating. It's a full-on sensory explosion in a mouth that experiences flavor far more intensely than ours. But here's the kicker of a twist. While they are super sensitive to sweet and bitter, babies have a very weak sense of salty. The receptors for saltiness don't fully develop until around 4 months old. Before that, they can barely taste it at all. Number 2. They are programmed to forget everything. You have zero memory of being a baby. This isn't a coincidence. It's a biological phenomenon called infantile amnesia. And it's not that they aren't making memories. They are. Studies show babies can remember faces, voices, and routines for weeks. But the part of their brain for storing long-term narrative memories, the hippocampus, is simultaneously trying to do 2 contradictory things: form new memories and grow like crazy by producing new neurons. Scientists at the University of Toronto found that this rapid creation of new brain cells, called neurogenesis, actually wipes over old memories. It's like trying to write a novel on a computer that's constantly rebooting and formatting its own hard drive. And now for the profound twist. While the narrative memories are wiped, the emotional imprints are not. Researchers believe that early experiences of love, stress, and security can shape a person's emotional baseline for life, even if they can't remember the specific events that caused them. The feelings stick, even when the facts are gone. And at number 1. The secret superpower every baby is born with, the diving reflex. If you submerge a baby under 6 months old in water, something unbelievable happens. It's a 3-part chain reaction. First, they instinctively hold their breath. That's called apnea. Second, their heart rate dramatically slows down to conserve oxygen. That's bradycardia. Third, blood flow is automatically redirected away from their limbs to their vital organs, like the brain and heart. It's an involuntary survival mechanism, triggered by the sensation of cold water on the face. Scientists believe it's an evolutionary holdover from our distant aquatic ancestors, designed to protect them from drowning. This reflex has been credited with saving the lives of infants who have accidentally fallen into cold water, giving them precious extra minutes of survival time. And the final, craziest twist? We never fully lose it. A less pronounced version of the diving reflex exists in all humans. Splashing cold water on your face when you're panicked can actually help slow your heart rate and calm you down. It's a trick free divers use all the time, a relic of our own infant superpower. And of course, the critical disclaimer, do not try this at home. This is a scientific phenomenon, not a party trick. So, from temporary superpowers to bones that fuse together over time, babies are way weirder and more complex than we ever thought. Science is still trying to figure out the why behind most of these. But I want to know, which fact absolutely shocked you the most? Was it the diving reflex, the fact they're programmed to forget their own childhood, or being born without kneecaps? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single one. And if you like this, hit that subscribe button and put your notice.